Friday for the second time here in the brand new season for 2024. I'm Harlan Hutchison. Zizzers football is coming up on Hot Country KDY. Thank you so much for joining us here on the radio or the live stream, whichever the case may be. Our live broadcast, the kickoff, will start at 7 o'clock here in just a little while. Tonight is a KDY night because each home opener, we always have a booth out front with a tent with food and drink and T-shirts to give away, and that's all there as long as it lasts. So on your way in, make sure to stop by and see us just outside the front gate. Now, we get ready for the home opener against the Parkview Vikings tonight. Both teams, the Zizzers and the Vikings, are 0-1. West Plains lost their opener last week to the Mountain Home Bombers 43-21. Joel Wyatt talking a little bit earlier today about that game and Mountain Home's depth. They usually, for the most part, had a two-platoon system with only one player going both ways, and that really wore down the Zizzers, especially up front early in the ball game, according to Coach Wyatt.
Up-tempo, running the football, and even though it was only the second offensive series of the game, you could see our guys already, starting to get wore down. They just ran inside zone at us, and we were starting to get gassed because we had so many. All three of our down linemen that are in the rotation are offensive starters on the O-line. So, especially when Jeff Edgeler went out and Maddox Hawkins put on the offensive line, he's a defensive end starter. And we just got gassed, and, real early, and you could see it. And, they just kind of wore us out. That really affected the football game. Mountain Home's a good team, and, you line up the stretch, we got 40 kids, and they got 70 stretching. Yeah. It makes a difference. They, talking with Steve, they had one defensive lineman that played some O-line, and that was only in certain formations. So, they weren't rotating anybody. Yeah. And those O-linemen for Mountain Home, they weren't playing any D-line. So it makes a big difference, and they're a good ball club and got good team speed, physical. It was a really good test for us.
And again, their success, the Bombers' success, was based on wearing out the Zizzers, and it was effective.
We were worried all week about the pass and, hitting us on some vertical shots. I think they were 6 for 12, so only threw it 12 times. Darren had a great plan of just, hey, we're going to run the football. We're going to try to wear these guys down. I think he had 4 running backs carry the football with 4 backs with 60-plus yards, 2 with over 90. Mm-hmm. So they did a good job running the ball. Quarterback's a good athlete. But we learned from it, and it was a good test for us, and we're on to the next one.
And the next on the schedule is Parkview tonight, who lost their opener to Marshfield last week by a score of 12-0.
Defensive struggles, a 12-0 game. Marshfield beat them, and one of those scores was a pick six. Wasn't a lot of offense. Parkview had some first game mistakes, a lot of pre-snap penalties. They couldn't get lined up right. Receivers flinching and moving at the snap, and then they put the ball on the ground, and then they had the pick six. This is Coach Bruffett's second year. Usually in your second year, they're a little more familiar with your offense. They're one of the few teams like us that still get under center. They try to run the ball at you a little bit, but they also got some good athletes out there on the edge, on the perimeter that they can throw it to. Defensively, they've changed schemes. Last year they were a 4-man front, and now they're playing a 3-3-5 look, so a little bit different there.
Let's take a peek at the schedule of games for tonight around the area. Some of those contests will include Rogersville playing at Ava. Rogersville now a part of the Ozark Mountain Conference, and we'll go over all that stuff again here in just a little while. Rogersville going up against Ava, who is 1-0. They beat Buffalo last week, and Ava is very good again this year. Springfield Catholic will be looking to get their first win as they play at Houston tonight. Tigers were winners last week. Lutheran South will be at Kabul at the Pit. Lighthouse Christian will play at Thayer this evening. The Highland Rebels will travel to Mountain Grove to play the Panthers. It'll be Pleasant Hope at Willow Springs tonight. And the Mountain Home Bombers with their big rivalry game tonight. They'll be playing the Harrison Goblins at Harrison, and Harrison comes into that game at 0-2. Last night, Prescott beat Salem, Arkansas by a final of 31-22. And tomorrow, the Liberty Eagles traveling way up north of Kansas City to Weston, where they'll play West Platte. That game will be broadcast on the Fox 96.9. It is a brand new season, and there's a lot of changes. The Ozark Conference, of course, disbanded after the last school year. Schools that were a part of the Ozark Conference joined other conferences, including the Central Ozark Conference and the brand new Ozark Mountain Conference and the CMAC. The Central Ozark Conference now includes Glendale, Kickapoo, Lebanon, Waynesville. They all join the COC, and the COC is now split up into two divisions with 7 teams each. It is a big league. The Ozark Mountain Conference was formed with West Plains in that league, along with Logan Rogersville, Carl Junction, Marshfield, Branson, and the Bolivar Liberators. So a brand new conference for the brand new year. Hamilton joined the CMAC, while independent teams this year will include Rolla, the Parkview team, and Springfield Central. So a definite new alignment. Now, tonight is not a conference game, but it is a district game. So it's important in that respect for sure. But as important, if not more so, you want to see improvement between week 1 and week 2. And I'm sure Coach Wyatt and his football team has been doing a lot of conditioning, a lot of players going both ways. And tonight their challenge will be to handle Springfield Parkview up front and try to get a win and go 1-1 on the season before we hit the road and go to Hillcrest next week. That's pretty much it for our pregame from McDonald's Field at Zizzers Stadium. I'm Harlan Hutchison. We'll have the kickoff coming up in just a few moments here on Hot Country KDY.
This has been the pregame show on Hot Country KDY. Stay tuned. Zizzer kickoff time is coming up next.